From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Wednesday morning, halfway through the working week. It is the 9th of January already. Roy Basnett here, but not alone anymore because Kevin McMahon has joined us. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Roy.
Did you enjoy your little trip to Gay Paris?
Did I ever? Yeah, it was absolutely fabulous. What a break. What a cultural extravaganza.
I was thinking, has Kevin gone there in order to sample the culture? Or has he been told that there's a possibility of him playing the part of René in the stage musical of Hello, Hello, and he just wanted to brush up on his French accent?
I thought you were going to say the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Although I did visit Notre Dame Cathedral.
Did you?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would imagine you've been to Paris before.
I have been to Paris before, but mostly just passing through, Roy. But this time, I was only there 4 days. But 4 days, and where we stayed, Saint Michel, it's just kind of everything's there. Yeah. So easily accessible. Well, yeah, it was a roller coaster.
Did you do all the proper stuff like Euro Disney and that? Like?
Were you around Disney? I said culture, Roy.
I have been. I've been to the Euro Disney, unfortunately, but I mean, it's an amazing place. Do you know the funny thing is though about the French? There always seems resentment from both countries. The French don't seem like us, and we don't seem like the French.
Well, yes,
did you encounter
you can't hear that, but I counted exactly the opposite to that.
Did you?
Very friendly.
Oh, well,
very welcome, very friendly.
So
they kept telling me this is the city of love.
Yeah?
The city of love. Yeah, that was kind of the catchphrase they kept saying.
I understand, yeah. So you were there in a kind of ambassadorial kind of role, really, weren't you?
I was. I always am.
Glad to hear it, yeah. And you're fully recovered from the festive period, I would imagine.
Yes.
No more kids coming up saying, I've been a good girl or a big good boy all Christmas because he's seen you with the beard.
I got this in Paris. In Paris, yeah.
Well, there you go. Anyway, the segment that we do on a Wednesday is called Kevin McMahon and Friends. So you better tell us about your friend today.
Well, my very good friend Jay Murray is here today. Hi, Jay.
Hello.
Hello, Jay. Jay, I've known Jay for many years. He's a musician, and of course I'm into my music, the live music, go around all the clubs, pubs where live music is playing, but particularly Cavern, because Jay's a resident of the Cavern, and he plays at many other places. He's got his own band. I mean, he's a legend, a musical legend of Liverpool.
Well, there you are. He's bigged you up there. Yeah? You've got a lot to live up to there, I'm afraid.
Well, Kev used to take me to Euro Disney when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, how long have you been resident at the Cavern?
20 years this April.
20 years?
Yeah, 20 years this April. Don't look old enough, do you?
I know, yeah. You have a little bit of a passion resemblance to Dennis Waterman.
No, people say that, if you see the Dennis Waterman or Brad Pitt,
Yeah. So, yeah. It's an easy mistake.
Yeah, I'm sure you get it all the time.
So, 20 years at the Cavern Club resident. I mean, was it one of these that you just rocked up with your guitar one day, said, have you got any gigs going?
No, what it was, I was in a Beatles tribute band called the Mersey Beatles at the time. So we were like one of the only Scouse ones, and pretty much the best, you know what I mean, obviously at the time. But I left in 2008, and I've still stayed on at the Cavern ever since.
Right, yeah. So what was it like? Do you remember your first gig?
Pardon?
Do you remember your first gig at the Cavern?
Yeah, obviously it was great, just the Cavern, like Beatles and stuff. To be honest with you, I never really drunk in there. You know what I mean? Even before we started working, but it's like a home from home now. So. Yeah.
So what's a typical? I mean, how many times a week?
I do 3 a week.
3 a week.
Yeah. How many? Saturday afternoon at 2:15, and Monday and Tuesday nights at 9:15.
Right. And I would imagine the advantage of being in somewhere like the Cavern Club. It's almost a bit like being on a holiday camp to a certain degree. You get transient trade because you're getting the tourists coming in, so that you can kind of like recycle material because you've got a different crowd.
The thing is, it is a different crowd every night, you know what I mean? Which is good. All different cultures from all walks of life. So you start to learn little phrases in certain languages and stuff. But I mean, I'm lucky because I still get to go all over the world doing it. Right. So I'm going to the Ukraine in April. And that's all through the Cavern. What Kev forgot to mention as well, I'm Pete Best. I'm his Pete Best lead guitarist.
Oh, right. So kind of Pete Best band.
Yeah.
Right. See, this is it. I mean, I didn't realise, because obviously everybody's familiar with the Cavern, but when Kevin brought in, I forget the name of the guy, the marketing manager, was he? Or the
Nick Robinson.
Nick Robinson came in, and we were having the conversation, and I didn't realise it's like a global brand.
Oh, yeah.
Now that it's
multi-million pound business.
Yeah, way extends the kind of borders of Liverpool, and it is incredible that. when you consider, was it not the case that when the Cavern, as in its current form, started out, it wasn't a roaring success at first, was it?
No.
And then, obviously a few corners were turned, and if you look where it was then to where it is now, that is a phenomenal
it's
success.
massive. I mean, they've got they've got a Cavern in Buenos Aires in Argentina.
I
think they've got one in Australia as well, and Japan. But it's crazy because, as you say, it's global. I remember going to see the Geezer in Iceland.
The Geezer?
No, the country Iceland, not the supermarket. Like.
Yeah.
But so this is in the middle of nowhere. I mean, hundreds of miles away from anywhere. Like.
Yeah.
And I was walking there with my girlfriend, and I just noticed these two people turn around and start pointing at me.
Yeah.
So I was going, saying to like my girlfriend, these guys just recognise me. She's going, "Don't be a big head." No one of them.
Yeah.
So I seen him in the airport on the way back. There's a picture of me and this guy on his phone.
Oh, right.
From the Cavern. I was like, "Told ya." Big head.
How did you see me then? Through the Cavern, I would imagine.
Through Cavern, watching Jay perform. Yeah. And I went back for more. Can you believe that?
Well, there you are. Yeah. So what's a typical few songs that appear on your kind of set list then?
Everything. Obviously, I can do every Beatles song there is. So especially with it being a Cavern, it's like a mecca, So whatever people, whatever songs they want to shout out, I can do. But to keep it a little bit interesting for myself, it's very an eclectic mix.
Yeah, sure.
You got like Elvis right up to Kings of Leon, and just. Well, Neil Diamond, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, they were all featured anyway. I mean, Elvis. because the Beatles were big fans of Elvis.
Oh yeah,
weren't they?
I was in Graceland in October. Like.
Well, yeah. Performing.
No, I went to see Elvis, but he wasn't there.
He left the building
somewhere.
I think he was doing a garden. But I've done a couple of where say the Mersey Beatles. I went over to America, and this is quite ironic. I was opening up for them, by myself. Like, So we played Memphis, we played Nashville, someplace in Kentucky, then we finished off in Indiana.
Right.
So it's a big drive. Like.
See, the Beatles, in America,
it's global.
It's I mean, I know that. the Beatles obviously is huge in that part of the world. But you mentioned all them South American countries, which just seem to lap it all up and what have you. And I sometimes, because this is my kind of reading of the situation where the Beatles was concerned. For many years, certainly in the 80s, it was almost as if the Beatles were like a bit of an embarrassment to Liverpool because there was never anything that really recognised them. And everywhere now there's lots of stuff that's trading on it, but it was as if it was it is the Beatles here, but we don't want to talk about
there was
an element to that.
There was some resistance from the Liverpool City Council during those times that they wanted to distance themselves from the Beatles. I remember listening to Julia Bird reading out some correspondence she'd been involved in with through the city council at the time, and the resistance was just incredible to think. And I remember some of the comments that were made. We do not want Liverpool to be a mecca for long-haired layabouts. That was
okay.
And another one described the Beatles as a one-hit wonder. I mean, where do these people come from?
It just goes to show.
It's massive. Tourism now, the Beatles itself, just the Beatles.
I think it would be difficult to put an amount on as to what.
Well, it is, but I know there's been a study by Liverpool University, and they said that we're merely scratching the surface of what it could be.
Yeah.
Oh. See, obviously the thing is about the Beatles, you had like 250 years ago, you had like Beethoven and stuff like that. That's timeless music. The Beatles is also timeless. It'll be played in the next 1,000 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I think everybody knows at least one beat or the title of one Beatles song.
Sure.
And you can't say that about One Direction and anybody like that.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. I think it is. It's one of those things that certain artists come along and they will stand the test of time. The Beatles are certainly going to be like that because it's new audience. It's like, if say for the sake of argument, when I was growing up, you didn't really have access to old music as such, certainly not in the way you do now. And I think when music television came in with the VH1s and all that kind of stuff, you could see older stuff. But if it was the question in the 1980s before you had all of that kind of stuff, you could only really go with what you knew at the time because you might have heard some of the older songs on the radio, but you'd never get to see music videos of them where you do now. And a lot of people, I think in a sea of mediocrity, which is what you have in a lot of music these days, people think, well, yeah, I like that song from years ago. Because, if something makes you tap your feet and snap your fingers, then obviously it's working. It doesn't really matter where it comes from and what have you.
Yeah.
What about members of the Beatles? Have you managed to encounter a few of those?
Well, I've been like kind of close to meeting McCartney a few times.
Yeah, because he just rocks up now and again, doesn't he?
Now and again, yeah.
Yeah.
But I say, Kev's just mentioned Julia Baird, who's John Lennon's sister. I've been all over the world with her too. Like,
right,
so I was she was in America with us, obviously when I was last there. But yeah, obviously Pete Best. You know what I mean? He was obviously. Like
I've interviewed Pete. He's a lovely bloke.
Oh yeah,
really lovely
really
bloke,
down to earth. Still lives in the same house. I mean, the guy after like all the anthology came out, you know, he got a few quid out of it. Like, and he was still driving around in a K-Red's Ford Sierra. For you're talking for years, like, you know. Yeah. Till you upgraded to a Jag, like. But yeah, but you know, really down to earth guy.
Can't be bad.
Quite reserved, like.
Right, okay. It's Bliss Radio you're listening to. Roy Basnett here, right through till midday. And on a Wednesday, we have a little segment known as Kevin McMahon and Friends. His friend today, Jay Murray.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.
Bliss Radio for Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday already. How's your New Year's resolutions going, Kevin?
Well, I haven't really made any as such.
I think anybody does now, do they?
No.
Yeah? Not been to the gym? You've not started a new diet or anything like that?
Not yet. What are you suggesting?
It's usually what happens, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
Another one I like, people go and buy like a bike, you know, one of them exercise bikes that you put in you get one of them and then all you ever do is put the washing on it to dry.
I've kind of made a resolution, but it's just I'm determined. I've got quite a few projects unfinished or need to be progressed,
right?
And I've made kind of determination that I'm going to get those really sorted. I suppose that's close to a resolution.
Well, that's all right. Well, it is a resolution of its own kind, so it's definitely
self-defense classes.
Self-defense classes, which we will talk about. We're going to talk about after 11 o'clock because of this incident that happened at the Cavern Club, which has been viewed, millions and millions,
over 20
million times. Man, we will find out more about that after 11 o'clock this morning. I would imagine it's not put you off though, because the musician in you still wants to perform.
Well, you know, I've been a professional musician for 25 years. You know, I played some dives. I mean, proper dives. You know what I mean? In front of like two people, like the horse racing bets.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
so what was the process anyway, young lad? Though, when did you realise that the guitar was for you? Was it something like that? Your folks said, "Why you ever go on the guitar?" Or did you just naturally gravitate?
No. What it was, my friend who was quite spoiled. I mean, I grew up with nothing. You know what I mean? But like. He got like a Fender Stratocaster, black Fender Stratocaster.
Stratocaster.
Oh, that's how spoiled he was. So anyway, you know, so I asked my parents. He was sadly no longer with us anymore. But I asked them for a guitar, just like my friends. So I'll get it for your birthday. So birthday came and went. For Christmas. 2 years later, I finally came to the door and it was a lovely white, Fender Stratocaster copy. Over there. But I'd already been playing on my friend's guitar. So I learned myself, self-taught. But I just what was it? Every morning before school, a couple of hours after school before I go and play football with my mates. And that's just from there.
Did you manage to work up to the authentic item of the Stratocaster?
Oh, I've had a few now.
Have you? Oh, all right. It's funny, because I remember a guy that I used to have, and we was talking about popularity of music now, and people want to play musical instruments. Of course, if you've got a PlayStation, you can get this thing called Guitar Hero. I don't know if you've seen it, right?
You press a button.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? And you say, you get all these kids that complain that, oh, yeah, I can play the guitar. And then they said, well, I'm going to go and buy a guitar. And then they go into Dawson's. And he said, what's wrong with this? Where's the buttons off this? Keep on it, But, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm always fascinated by musical instruments and how long it takes you to actually get up and running so you can do a song. How long did it take?
Well, I mean, I've been playing, 31 years. But I remember the first. It's always like the first song you ever learn, and this is at least 90% of musicians is a song called "House of the Rising Sun."
Oh yeah,
the 12-bar blues and all that stuff.
Right, okay.
So once you can do all that stuff, then you go into the Beatles. You get the 6-chord songbook.
Yeah,
which is the book's always wrong. I mean, as a musician, you can listen to something and know what key it's in just by listening to it. I always learn from here, but I mean, we didn't have any YouTube or nothing, no internet then. You know,
just someone online. YouTube, what's going on, and they teach you how to do it.
Just type it in now, and you can do it.
I would imagine the Quo's probably easy to do, isn't it?
No, it's again like rock and roll. It's just 3 chords.
Three
chords.
Oh, fascinating.
I remember learning my first couple of songs, but I'd say it's just gradually built from there to when I was 18, started playing bass in a band. And I actually was like vomiting at my first gig. I was that nervous, you know. Yeah. And like, believe it or not, I actually physically couldn't sing. Right. Because I was really scared. But as soon as like we finished and everybody was clapping, I thought, wow, this is payoff,
really, isn't it? It's a bit like, it's like when you do it. I suppose it's like, you do a bungee jump and you don't want to do it and you don't want to enjoy it, but when you get down, you've done it. And that's when the euphoria comes into play, really, isn't it?
Funny that you should mention that. I'm actually doing a parachute jump.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a Christmas present, so I'm going to do that in the spring.
Well, you have to tell us more about that, actually, right, okay, it is coming up towards 11 o'clock. This is Bliss Radio, and guest in the studio is Jay Murray. Kevin McMahon is with us.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.
Jay Murray is our guest in the studio, resident musician down at the Cavern Club, and of course Kevin McMahon is with me for the usual segments on a Wednesday. So you've got your you said just before the break you're going to do a parachute. Is that what, no, were we talking about the parachute jump? Oh, were we talking about you throwing up just before you played your first gig?
Yeah,
on the bass guitar.
Yeah, that was the first band I was in, and then I got to progress to rhythm guitar.
Yeah,
back in vocals, and then
is it a world of difference between bass and rhythm?
Well, yeah, it's obviously the small strings. Yeah. But I started learning lead. Then I started progressing quite well in lead. So became a lead guitarist. And now it's just me and just me like an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Did you prefer to be solo artist, or do you like the band?
Yeah, I prefer to be on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It is good to share the stage with somebody. But sometimes it's not, because you think, I don't like you.
Do you know exactly? You come across this so many times. Bands just don't. I think it's a creative thing, isn't it?
I mean, the thing is, you've got to have an ego. I mean, you do have to have an ego, which needs massaging to do that anyway. Yeah. I mean, to parade yourself in front of all these people. But but you are in a band with someone with a bigger ego than you. I mean, I don't like big-headed people. No. I really don't like that. And but I've been in a band with a few big heads, and it doesn't go down well.
Yeah,
especially when they think they're better than you or whatever.
We were talking off air that in addition to being the residents over there, and you've been all over the world with the Cavern. The Ukraine, that's your next destination.
Yeah, I'm going to the Ukraine in April, just after Easter. So.
What is it? Is it like a Beatles festival, a Cavern festival?
No,
or what?
believe it or not, it's. I got a phone call one day. I mean, from the Ukraine. It came up the Ukraine on my phone. So I was like, I don't know anybody in the Ukraine. So I thought, it's one of those calls, your PPI or whatever.
Yeah,
so I just thought, I was in a good mood. I said, I'm going to have this guy, whoever it is, So I answered, and normally they say, "Oh, Mr. Murray, your accent was."
Yeah.
So you went, "Hello, is that Jay Murray?" And so I thought, "Hello, who's this?" So it's a car rental firm who celebrates. It's a car rental firm who's celebrating 20 years in business.
Right.
Now, a couple of the employees see me in the Cavern about 6 years ago. They said that long ago.
Yeah.
So they see me because there's thousands of videos on me on YouTube. So they showed it to their bosses, and they loved it. So they went, get him. So to pay all expenses paid. So they're paying for me to go over there, give me a fee, and get me beer.
Yeah, it just has to be a bit, Kev. It's a bit of a volatile part of the world there at the moment, the Ukraine, isn't it?
It is. Yes, they're treating their politicians with some derision. If you've seen some of those,
treat them like trash.
We're treating them like trash. But that's better.
Tell us, just as an aside, tell us about this.
I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube or whatever. But I think they're accosting their politicians as they come out of their parliament and throwing them into these big wheelie bins, these big industrial wheelie bins. Literally lifting them up in their suits, their briefcase, everything. In the bin they go. I did most of them. Most of them were not really fighting back. I did notice that. It's probably very wise.
Their fate.
They're accepting their fate. But there was one who gave up a bit of a struggle, so they closed the lid on him.
Oh, right, okay. You could be murdered if you did that in this country, especially if you put them in the wrong bin.
Yes. The non-recyclable.
Well, listen, Jay, we've got to talk, because obviously we've been talking about Ukraine and a lot of stuff, and there's still much more to talk about on that situation. But publicity is everything. If you want to move that. Publicity is everything, of course, if you want to make a name for yourself. And you've certainly had a lot of publicity as of late over a particular incident that happened to you at the Cavern Club. Do you want to talk us through what happened?
No, but it was on the 29th of December, and some idiot just kind of manhandled me, let's say, and then, obviously it was for no reason. It was totally unprovoked, like. So the next day, when I got woke up, my girlfriend said, "Have you seen this?" I went, "No, it's gone viral." I didn't even know what that meant. I'm like, what does that mean? She went, "It's had like over couple of million views." I'm like, "What, seriously?" So anyway, so as it gradually went on, it was like people who were dealing with the social media for the Cavern, he said he was blaming me for a lack of sleep for 3 days because he was watching it go from one figure to another figure to another figure. So it's basically reached nearly 20 million views, and like thousands upon thousands of shares. I mean, it's obviously I'd rather be like seen for a better reason. You know what I mean? Not in being attacked. But it's gone viral. Like.
Well, I mean, I kind of, my barometer for how viral that has gone is my wife, to be honest with you, because it's one of these things that my wife hasn't got a tremendous interest in what I do on the radio and stuff. And I said, "I've got a Jay Murray coming on." He said, "I know who he is." I said, "Yeah, he's the guy that got turned upside down." I thought, God, if the wife knows about it, everyone knows. Yeah,
it's crazy. I'm being pointed at by total strangers in the street. I'm like, "There's that guy." I was like,
yeah. So I mean,
well, it was a pretty shocking attack, though.
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, like, it was totally unprovoked and totally unexpected because it was like a sucker punch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, the way he grabbed me and the way I landed, looking back at it, the way I landed, it's I landed on full force on my back.
It was very dangerous because I mean, I work for the Vikings who win the rugby league team, so I know a little bit about rugby league, and that effectively was in its really a very dangerous, what would be termed a spear tackle in rugby league, right? And you're immediately sent off for it because what can happen is you could paralyse somebody. As I said, you snap the top of the neck there, that's it. This was the thing. I mean, the guy obviously. What was he thinking?
God knows. Honestly, I really don't know. But I mean, his excuse was that he was drunk, which is no excuse really.
You got to speak to him after it then.
Oh yeah, I got to speak to him like for a brief second, like when I asked him why he did it, and I was explaining to him that I've got like 2 very young children, a 5 and 3-year-old, and what kind of upsets me, in hindsight, when I was thinking about it a couple of days later, they could have been pushing me around in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not trying to big it up, but like if you see the footage, I mean, honestly, I didn't half go.
Well, as I say, I don't want you too morbid and dwell too much on it, but you've only got to look at Christopher Reeve, for example.
Honestly, that was going through my mind. What would have happened if it would have been like that? My life could have changed in a split second at the hand of some lunatic.
Yeah, your career's finised. Everything's finished.
Mobility, the lot, like. But thank God. I was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a few cuts and bruises, like. But
you seem to be off that stage pretty lively and after him.
Oh, but yeah.
It's not the non-screening you coming out there.
That's definitely the non in me, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, it was just like it was nanoseconds of time, which I was before I knew it, I was on my back, and then before again, like split second, I seen a foot coming towards me. The sole of a foot coming towards my face. But that's when I actually started to realise, well, this clown's trying to really hurt me. For some reason, he wants to hurt me. So that's when I started to retaliate, and stuff like this. It's like, as you said, like a reaction. So I just thought, well, I'm not letting him get away with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I pursued him off stage, and on a bit of a compensation.
I understand. Yeah. But I mean, it is, as I say, we've all seen the fusses and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's pretty shocking.
It was, perhaps maybe if it was something you'd said and you'd upset him, but obviously we've had that conversation off there, it never happened.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I can be, not aggressive, but I can be like very witty and funny towards people, but like very tongue-in-cheek. It's never...
That's what people would expect.
That's my job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I say, nothing remotely was even said to this guy, and he didn't look at me as if to say, I'm going to come and get you. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just came totally out the blue for no reason at all.
Right.
Literally, done that.
So what's the plan for the future? You're going to have like a crash mat in front of you or something like that? I mean,
I just like, what's it, that film, Blues Brothers, where you just have a cage? Stand by your own.
But the thing about this, it's a club, isn't it? It's a very popular club. It's full of tourists. It's full of families, children in there.
Well, there was children there, actually.
Exactly.
It's
not an internment camp. You can't surround the stage with security. No. It's not that sort of place.
And it never will be.
You've got to say, this is so rare.
Very isolated.
Well, it is, of course.
Yeah.
Very isolated. Like,
I mean,
it's never happened in there 28 years.
the kind of people you get in there, as I say, they're not.
It's all families, very nice. And there's never any trouble in there.
But as I say, I mean, I know you've really got to be thankful for your luck on that situation, because you come across this away from that. The altercation gets out of hand of a night time and stuff and what have you. It's just incredible, really. And people lose their lives or get badly injured and things like that. It's just incredible.
Well, yeah,
really.
I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah. But anyway, our guest at the studio, Jay Murray.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.
Meantime, Wednesday morning means Kevin McMahon pops in to see me for a little segment we call Kevin McMahon and Friends. His friend today is Jay Murray, resident musician at the Cavern. Musically wise, obviously, you're going to be influenced because the Beatles and all of that kind of stuff. Then you mentioned you play the Elvis songs. If there was a artist living or dead that you would love to go and see now, who would it be?
The Who are my favourite band.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because like a couple of years ago, one of the last times they played Liverpool, I got a free ticket off my friend, right?
Yeah.
Because they were free ticket off my friend. But like when we were in there, I got a free backstage pass off somebody.
Right.
So and I got to speak to the keyboard player. His name's Lauren Gold he's from California, like lovely guy. So when we were backstage, like I didn't meet Roger or Pete like down in the set.
Yeah.
So me and this guy hit it off. So me and him just ended up going to Cavern for a pint.
Right.
So whenever the Who play,
He comes to see you.
I get free tickets, backstage passes. You know what I mean? So it's my favourite band.
So I like the Who, and do you know what? I late to the Who, as it were, because I was too young when they first were kind of cracking it. But I remember going to see Roger Daltrey in McVicar.
Oh yeah, great film.
And the soundtrack for McVicar,
Free Me, is
fantastic.
Yeah.
Free Me is a great song, but even like the instrumental, the escape music and what have you. And it's such marvellous guitar
Sounds like a
work.
genius. I mean, absolute genius. You know what I mean? And he really is. As I say, like I love everything he's ever done. Like, you know what I mean? Especially like the Quadrophenia favourite album, and Tommy as well.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy saved their career basically.
Yeah, no, well, amazing. I didn't realise actually Tina Turner was in.
Oh yeah, Tina Turner, all of it, Clapton.
Unbelievable, really, yeah. But I liked, as I mean, I love that film.
She's the Acid Queen, yeah.
The Acid Queen, that's it. Yeah, no, I love that film. There was something else I was going to say there about. I mean, I like You Bet, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, that's probably a decent choice. Have they ever played the Cavern? The Who?
Oh yeah, they have, yeah.
Have they?
They have, yeah. Because there's a big yellow poster with the Who on it.
Yeah, because back in the day,
this is like
would have been a lot of people. I would have thought you'd have been who would have seen all the big bands perform it there over the years.
Yeah, but not the Who. No.
Probably a little bit too raucous for you, the Who.
Yeah, maybe I was more glam rock.
Yeah,
in those days. So,
they were more rock than Who.
They were more rock than glam.
Yeah,
there was no nonsense. I mean, sorry, not nonsense. Like, but I mean, Pete Townshend's stage gear was just like a boiler suit, like a workman's boiler suit, and a pair of Dr. Martens. You know,
what was it? I mean, here's the thing about the Who. When you just smash the instruments up at the end. Did they think, well, I've got a Stratocaster there, they can't be bashing that up. Did they just before they jumped in at the end, was it, get that stuff out of cash converters we got on, we'll smash that?
It was Kit Lambert, who was the manager at the time. It was his idea. I mean, because Townsend done it one time. And Kit Lambert was really posh. He liked the opera and all that stuff. He was like, people have missed it. Go, do it again. But then they'd run into a music shop, back in the day, and go, I'll pay you Thursday. Run out with this guitar, you know what I mean? But you used to have people fixing them up and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Some of them were like,
I love the other thing about that as well is Keith Moon. You can't mention the Who without Keith Moon. And I always remember watching a programme Oliver Reed was talking about, because Oliver Reed used to be very good friends with Keith.
Yeah.
What a deadly combination.
Do you know how they met?
No.
Keith Moon had moved into the estate next to Oliver Reed's.
Right.
Got a helicopter, as you do, and he just landed in Oliver Reed's. So Oliver Reed didn't know what it was. So he's shooting at this helicopter with a shotgun. Next minute goes, Keith, no, dear boy, it's me, Keith. Keith, Ringo Starr as well. They all became really good.
See, I love that.
Substantial.
Whereas, it's probably some of the stuff was a bit dangerous what they were doing, but you don't seem to get that within rock and roll anymore. There is no, the sex, drugs, rock and roll thing. Yeah, you still got sex, drugs, and it's that wildness,
and sausage rolls
and stuff like that. You know, that you just don't seem to get.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've got my own band called The Pages of History. This is like all the original stuff which I write, and I think one of the best comments. No, it wasn't even a comment. We played the Cavern Pub. And like they're pretty loud, like, you know, we don't smash instruments, like, but and this fella just had his fingers in his ears, and I thought, well, I like that, you know. He thinks like we're not very good, or like, oh, we're too loud, and I like to think that we were too loud for him, you know what I mean? Because they're just not, you know, quite loud and boisterous.
You just mentioned Oliver Reed there. I have to mention I've met Oliver Reed twice.
Twice.
Twice. He lived down in Surrey, Box Hill, and a friend of mine was the deputy head of Box Hill School there, which was a very nice school, so we used to visit quite often. And the local pub, the Running Horses, was Oliver Reed's local pub. So if you went there, he would drop in.
Wow.
And, of course, you didn't pay for your drinks. When Oliver Reed came in, he paid for everything. And so I met him quite a few times there under those circumstances. And absolute, you know, well, the man is just unbelievably, the charisma just pours out
presence,
of him.
Isn't it?
His presence is tremendous. And so having seen him a few times there, many moons back, I used to go to the gym at the Adelphi Hotel, and Oliver Reed is suddenly there.
In the gym?
In the gym. In the gym.
Sure, it wasn't in the gym.
Well, he was in the sauna, and there was like a jacuzzi outside the sauna. So he gets into the jacuzzi, but totally naked.
Oh yeah.
And of course, you
Sounds
don't do
like
that in the Adelphi because it's not that sort. It's not that sort of sauna. It's all the guests are there. Anyway, the staff is saying to him, "Well, Mr. Reed, you know, you really can't." So he stands up. You know, he's standing up. What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Anyway, he ends up throwing all the furniture into the swimming pool.
Really?
Yeah, disgraceful behaviour, I know, but you had to kind of laugh at it, and but that was my second
really
time.
Do you know, the funny thing is about Oliver Reed as well. I mentioned earlier, but you know, remember when Stan Boardman got in trouble on the television on the Des O'Connor show for the Focke-Wulf gag?
Oh yeah,
remember that? Well, he'd done that. He got to the advert break, and there was uproar, and all the kind of people were up in the office saying, "We didn't know it was going to pan out like that." Calm it down, Des, for the next one. Who's the next guest? Oliver Reed.
Yeah.
And Des O'Connor didn't do himself any favours when he said, "I believe you've got a tattoo on a certain part of the anatomy." Let's just say he used the most industrial term he could use to describe that part.
I remember it well.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, he said he got in trouble over that, and he said, "Who's the next guest on?" He said, "Freddie Starr." I find it fascinating. But stories like, as I say, you get. I mean, sometimes controversy these days manifests itself in different ways that are not necessarily entertaining.
Everything's a lot more PC now. You know what I mean? Obviously, back in the day, you know, I think they got away with a lot.
Oh my God!
They got away with a lot, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the comedians of the 1970s,
oh yeah,
when the television program was coming on, and you think, oh my God!
Yeah.
Do you know the funny thing? Yesterday, Gemma Roberts, who does the show with me on a Tuesday, I was talking to her and I said, "Oh, what films did you watch over Christmas?" And she said, "Oh, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I love that film." Right, okay, so you're okay with the idea of men that march into town, abduct women and be violent. And it just goes to show the difference between where the world is now.
Oh, gosh,
yeah. I mean, I would imagine, as I said, the kind of audience that you will get. I mean, this is the thing about music, because music speaks an international language, really, because you're going to get people from all kinds of nations coming in the Cavern, all walks of life and that. And I would imagine that there's a kind of unity when you're playing, really.
Well, do you know, it's crazy because, I mean, there's a few times where now and again I will get somebody, especially if they're from far away, you know, like Mexico or whatever. Now, there was this guy from Mexico, he was in the 60s, you know, he's a real big Beatle fan, like. So he's travelled a long way. So I thought, and I didn't say to him beforehand. I just said to him, "Come on, do you want to come on stage and sing with me?" So anyway, he gets up, and it's like it's his birthday, Christmas, everything rolled into one, like. And he started crying like a baby.
Really?
And give me a big hug. He went, "Oh, you don't believe what you've just done." I was like, "I do, you know, I really get it." Like, but that's happened loads of times. Where like, there was this young girl. She must have been about 6 from Brazil.
Yeah,
lovely little blonde thing she was, like. So she just tugs on me shirt. She goes, can I sing Love Me Do with you? I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I lowered the mic stand down. I got on my knees from the same size and all that stuff. So anyway, their parents asked me for my postal address, and I don't even know why, but I gave it to them.
Yeah.
So about 2 months later, I just got this package through the door from Brazil, like a big floppy package. I didn't even totally forgot about this little girl. And it was a Brazil football top with my name on the back, Jamie,
all right, yeah,
with a lovely letter and a lovely little photo, so I knew who it was from then. So a lovely letter saying we went all over Europe, but you made our vacation. She's still talking about it, and I get that a lot. You know what I mean? Like people who come back, sometimes that
is a reward that you can't put a price on.
Oh, it's special. It is special, and I do get it, and that's why the Cavern's such a special place, because I've actually made people, grown men, cry, not because I'm terrible, but the fact that it's like a mecca. I've made their life, a good moment in their life for them, that is special.
It's funny you should mention, we were talking about the Ukraine before, actually. Years and years ago, I had an ill-fated tour of Warsaw for a weekend, meant to be DJing. It was a disaster. I'll tell you about it sometime. And we ended up going to this I suppose you call it like a review bar. It had every feeling about something from the 1930s, East, all red velvet walls and everything. And there was a karaoke on, and it was all like Polish people who was in there, and it was they were all, the women were all singing like Marlene Dietrich and Falling and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I was getting a few drinks, and I put my name down. I'll do a Beatles song.
It sounds good to me.
It sounds like it, yeah. And I did 8 days a week, and of course, because I've got the English accent and that it sounds pretty decent, and they're like, and they loved it. Said, would you do this for us and everything? And of course, they're buying me drinks at the bar, and I end up progressively getting leathered. So all the credibility that had built up with me rendition of the Beatles absolutely and totally went out of the window when I did Copacabana later. And they were like, you need to leave now, So anyway, just a little heads up for the Ukraine there, you know what I mean? They might know me in that part of the world, you never know. Right, okay, you're listening to Bliss Radio. It's just gone 11:30 on a lovely sunny day again, I might add, for the 9th of January. In the studio with me, with Kevin McMahon, who's with us for Kevin McMahon and Friends. We have Jay Murray from the Cavern Club, and we'll be speaking more with him after Taylor Swift, which plays next.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
On Bliss Radio, it is just gone 25 to 12 on a Wednesday, and it's beautiful out there. Apart from it's a bit chilly, obviously.
It's a bit cold, but the sun's shining there, Roy.
The sun is shining. That's affecting my mindset, and I'm happy with it. So I'm good with that. We have in the studio, as I always do, on a Wednesday, Kevin McMahon for the little segment known as Kevin McMahon and Friends. Our friend today is Jay Murray, and I've got to mention as well, I'd be remiss if I didn't, that you also have quite a famous sister as well, don't you?
Yeah, her name's Chrissy Rock.
Yeah, okay. I mean, do you? Is there a love of music shared there, or did you both go in separate performance areas?
She's the oldest, I'm the youngest, so she kind of left home before I was born.
All right, okay.
She does what she does, very well, and I do what I do. Now and again, we'll work together or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what was the family like when from your point of view? For argument's sake, I mean, was there always a performance element within the siblings, or
no, not really. No. I mean, my mum and dad. Apparently, I believe my mum could play the accordion, but she had a stroke when I was 4, so it's paralysed her. So,
oh right, wow.
So I never got to see her play that. But my dad, he liked listening to music, you know what I mean? But he never played anything.
You come from a big family, or?
Well, I'm one of 5. I'm one of 5, I'm a loving family. But I was the only one who progressed into music, you know. I mean, my brothers had they had guitars, little acoustic guitars, but you never done anything with it, you know what I mean? I was the only one who did.
Right. You know what I mean? If there was something within your career now, then obviously, I mean, you're happy because you managed to go around the world. You're performing at an iconic venue on a regular basis. What would be the kind of cherry on the top for you if you could do something
to be recognised as a songwriter, to be recognised with my own band, to be liked for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, we are pretty decent,
Yeah.
But, even though, I get kind of, a bit of adulation from, in the Cavern, from people from all over the world, obviously over the years. But, I mean, it's just to be known for, my music and stuff. That'd be...
what's the composition for you when you put music together? Is it kind of you just pluck something out of the air, or is there a little bit of elements of life within your songs?
I mean, it's a certain story bits, but there's certain, quite nice, you know, like personal stuff in there. But I mean, like the way I kind of write songs, it's always like that, like little dreamy bit, not before you go to sleep. You know, get some words in your head. But lucky enough, you got a phone now, so you can just type it into your phone.
I can imagine that being the worst thing in the world, because I mean, I've had that. You know, you wake up and you get an idea and you can't sleep then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It cocks you right up and what have you. There's a lot to be said to be having the phone by the bed or something like, or let it off with a piece of paper because it'll affect you. It'll affect your sleep pattern if you'd have the phone on before you go to bed. I'm led to believe anyway. Yeah. But what do you do when the guitar goes down? What do you do to relax? What's programs?
I don't really relax, to be honest with you, because I've got like 2 little kids. You know, got a 5-year-old Bluebell and my 3-year-old Jude. So you know,
you have to be Jude.
You know what? Everybody thinks that it was me who named him, but that name wasn't even in any sort of like, you know. But like, it was
when he's out playing, you go, "Hey, Jude."
Hey, Jude. But I mean,
he doesn't let you down.
No, what it was his mother who thought of that name. Like, I never even thought of it, to be honest with you. She wanted to call him Wolfie as well. I was like,
Wolfie? Was she a big fan of Isn't Smith or something?
She's too young. But, you know, Wolfie. But, so basically that, I mean, obviously, as soon as I come home from work, it takes me a few hours just to wind down, you know, because like you're still like pretty up there, like. So I just watch, well, I wouldn't call it boring stuff. You know, things like steam engines, like World War II, all that stuff. You know, I'm into my history big time. Like,
I'm the same.
Stuff about castles.
It's your message like mine. Is that, you know, if my message wants to watch something on the television, no one's getting a word in. I know. It's focused on it like that. If I want to watch a program about Hitler or the Second World War, what did he do that for? Why did he invade I'm trying to watch this here, and what's he out of? All that kind of stuff. It's women are creatures of habit. They all do that, don't they? You know, when you're trying to watch the program.
Well, as soon as the Kardashians come on, I just leave the room.
She doesn't watch that, does she?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh God,
she says that she doesn't aspire to be like them, because she looks like, but she doesn't aspire to be like them. But like, I mean, I just can't stand the thing.
No, it doesn't appeal to me. And
cannot stand those programs.
It's so free.
No. Especially, and it's one of those things. You know, that when you see the Real Housewives of Cheshire.
Oh yes,
it's even worse.
And they've got the stresses of, my God, what colour horse should I buy and all that kind of stuff. And you think, when you get Real Housewives of Norris Green, would be much better to watch.
That would be a hit, I swear. That would be a hit.
Like, you just can't make and I can imagine what that'd be like. It'd be good, that. But programs like that, and I mean, it's just
fake, isn't it? I mean, but the thing is, though, I mean, like, that's what all the youth are watching nowadays. So like, you see that, that's what they kind of aspire to, you know. They see like half these women, you know, disrespect them, like, but you know, like the fake lips and stuff like that. I mean, that does nothing for me personally. Like,
well, I know that. What's her name? I can't. Is her name Scarlett or something? A woman there was a program called Gogglebox, which was
Scarlett. She's the Geordie girl.
Yeah, she's a lovely girl. Don't get me wrong.
Scarlett Moffat.
Scarlett Moffat, that's a lovely girl who's made a career out of watching the television. And that's all it is, but that's all that Gogglebox is. And now she's on. I mean, if you actually look at a lot of the people who are on television, they've come from that.
From those reality shows.
TV shows.
But that's the big thing nowadays, isn't it? You know, reality, like, some of them, like, you only get, like, the 15 minutes, as you call it, like, but some of them do, you know, make careers out of it.
Yeah, they do, but from your point of view, as somebody who's learned the trade in the way it should be learned, by playing in the venues that's got 2 people and that don't necessarily appreciate what you're doing, it's a bit of a smack in the face, really.
Well, that builds you into a stronger person, you know, because, like, you know, I played it in, like, miners' clubs with, like, just, like, 3 people there. And, you know, they're not interested in what you're doing, but you're still getting paid. Yeah. So, but, like, you know, so you still, like, you know, try your best to entertain them and, you know, whatever. But, like, you see some of these people now, and, like, as I say, like, they go into it, and there's not really much talent there, you know what I mean? You know, like, they're kind of, like, spoiled and mollycoddled, you know what I mean?
Oh, God. And you know
there's no depth to these people, like.
I've come across this many times, especially where there's youngsters concerned, you know, 16, 17-year-old singer, and it's the parent that's the driving force, and the kid's not overly concerned about it, but they tend to be, you know, it's almost as if they want to live out what they want to do.
Live their dreams, do that.
Through the child, and that's fair enough. But provided the kid wants to do it and what have you. And I've come across that so many times. I did a gig with a girl, and the dad was there, and he was walking around, and he obviously hadn't got a clue what he was talking about. I want that light like this, and I want that, and everything. And I said, well, what songs are you going to do? I said, right, I haven't got them. I said, what do you mean? He said, they're on YouTube. I said, what do you mean they're on? He said, the backing tracks are on YouTube. And you think, oh my God, you know, this is to me. And I know you can operate off a phone when you do. I don't know if you use a tablet or something like that when you work.
I'll take tablets sometimes.
Yeah.
I would not
couple of Panadol before you go on. Well, you see when you turn up with the phone and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. It's as I say, the process by which you and many musicians in this town have gone through to get where they wanted to get to is a long and hard road.
People have always said to me. I mean, I'm 43 now. I'm not young anymore. But people have said to me, the X Factor. Why do you do the X Factor?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, 1, I'm too ugly, and 2, I'm too old, and 3, I'm not being judged by someone who I don't respect.
Like Ollie Murs or someone.
The guy's got a decent career, but I'm not going to let someone like Cheryl Cole go to me. Oh, you should be doing this. I'm like, well, no, I've been doing it longer than you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not prepared to be judged by people who I don't respect. You know what I mean? So I've done my thing.
You're absolutely right. And I think we've had this conversation before about modern programs, these talent shows, if you like, which are nothing new because you had an opportunity.
They're all fixed. They're all fixed.
I think they are. You're telling me that when Susan Boyle rocked up there and Simon Cowell's jaw dropped, he didn't know that was coming.
These are all vetted in stages, 3 or 4 stages before they get to the televised stage.
Yeah,
it's like that fella there the other day on The Voice, Lonnie Donegan's son.
Was it?
Oh yeah, Lonnie. But Tom Jones turned around he went, and he goes, he coincidentally said oh, you got a look of Lonnie Donegan. And he goes, he's my dad. So he obviously knew. He goes,
he must have.
Saying that Lonnie Donegan wrote a song for him. Yeah. So it just so happens that there was a piano there. So they done a duet, and it's all staged. It's all staged.
You think you would have Lonnie? I tell you what, Lonnie Donegan's son there having to go on a programme like that. I suppose it can go that way.
Really. Just call it you raise me up moments where you tell the heartbreaking life story.
Yeah.
Then they say
you've got to have a backstory.
No, the judges say no, but then they say raise me up.
So I mean, you can go on be half decent singing. You think that's not bad. You turn around and say I've got a lung coming out next week.
No, the thing is, I mean, if you're good, yeah. But or if you're an amazing on the accent, but if you're terrible, if you're more terrible, you've got more chances. No, you really have.
I might pitch for it then. Right, okay. I'm going to take another break, and then we're going to conclude our business on the show with our guest Jay Murray this morning, and of course Mr. Kevin McMahon.
Bliss Radio
for a Wednesday morning. Can't believe it's Wednesday already. I've not completely got myself in the frame of mind just yet, for the new year and that. Still kind of all that limbo land after Christmas, but never mind. I'm sure everything will be fine in the not too distant. In the studio, we've got with me at the moment Kevin McMahon, always joins me on a Wednesday, and Jay Murray, who is the resident musician. Is that a fair term to describe you, resident musician at the Cavern?
Yeah.
Or resident artist might be a better term to use.
Whatever you want to call me.
When are you back in on the stage then? Cavern.
Oh, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Saturday. Saturday afternoon, 2:15, and then every Monday and every Tuesday at 9:50.
So if you were to add up, you've been, was it 20 years?
20 years, 3 times a week. If you do the math,
I can't do your math. So
no,
it's certainly
it's not my song point. I think it's obviously more than the Beatles. You know what I mean?
How do you kind of? I know it's obviously a musical thing, but have you got to get yourself in a mindset to kind of keep the interest going?
No, not the incest, because I mean I love my job. I think I'm very, very blessed and fortunate the fact that I've got that as a job. Because I mean, before that, when I was like a younger man, I was being like a nurse and stuff. Nursing homes. I worked in.
Oh right, okay.
I've done all sorts of manual labour, and I don't have to do that anymore. I just go to work in a nice warm environment and make people happy.
I think because you mentioned that you didn't like big heads earlier, and I think perhaps one of the aspects that why you'd appreciate that, because I have a similar background to you, that is when you've worked in industry or you've worked in normal environments, you'd appreciate when you get a break, if you know what I mean, to do something that you enjoy doing, and that, because a lot of people these days, and again going back to these reality TV shows, they're 16, 17, they get a break, they get the 15 minutes too early on in their life, and that's the peak of their life. That's the peak of their existence. And when it starts tailing off and they think, how are you going to make your coin now? You're going to have to do something ordinary. Yeah. And it is. And the world, as a result of, I believe, as a result of reality TV show, you're going to have so many basket cases in the next few years because they've thought they were going to get somewhere and then realised that there isn't any talent to sell. There is no ability.
There's no product.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there seems to be a kind of a mindset among a lot of people that they have a right to fame,
but
without having any talent. to go with it.
Yep.
They seem to think they have the right to be
To
well
wanna be,
known.
to wanna be, innit?
Yeah.
Well, you see, like these people, just because they they look beautiful, aesthetically gorgeous, and they got like all the fake teeth and whatever. They seem to like kind of get.
Well, I've got fake teeth. I've got 2 fake ones.
No, you see like some of these people because like they look good. Which, it's not fair on all those ugly ones, because these people look good. That they're entitled,
It's funny you should mention it, because I noticed there was an advert for a sofa company, and everybody who buys sofas from this company are all beautiful. You know what I mean? I think, can't you just put people in who look like they're going to buy a settee?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some big larder, something like that. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's very fickle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is very fickle. Like.
Yeah.
But as you say, some of these people, looks don't last.
No, absolutely.
Looks certainly don't last.
Indeed. Well, listen, Jay, it's been absolutely amazing
thank you very
having
much.
you come in. We fully appreciate it and that, and obviously, hopefully there'll be no more viral videos of you getting injured on stage.
Well, hopefully not.
Going round and stuff
Hopefully
like that
not.
and what have you. But it's worth having a look at if you've not seen it. Just imagine get it up to 30 million now.
Oh yeah, go on, yeah.
Simple as that. Jay, you're going to be in there on Saturday if people want to go down and say hello.
Yeah,
to you
2:50.
and
Yeah, come and say hello.
Yeah, okay. Got anything plans for the rest of the day then now, have you?
Yeah, I'm working on an artwork, and I was getting stuck into it yesterday, so my mind's there to carry on.
Unbelievable artist.
I know he is. A
Unbelievable
very
artist.
talented man is our Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, and this is a year of completion for him, so I look
Fantastic.
forward to seeing those things come to conclusion. Right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It is coming up towards midday. That means we've got the news and sports headlines on the way. Open airwaves between 12 and 1, and then Mark Snalin's afternoon delights from 1 o'clock today. I'll be back tomorrow morning.
From Crosby Village
to your radio.
Bliss Radio.